It's been a minute since I've actually done some mower content. This is my Z-Master, a Toro Z-Master. It's a nice commercial mower. I don't need a commercial mower, but you know, it was cheap and needed some work, and we fixed it up and got it running. It actually works great. The nice thing about these commercial mowers is they'll take a beating, right? They're meant to mow thousands of times. Want to get a couple of problems resolved on this that I kind of just dealt with and been annoyed by. One of them is the charging system is not charging. The battery pretty much dead, and I have to jump it every time. And I did that video with the jump box, use it on this mower to jump start the mower. So we're gonna see if I can fix the charging system. I don't actually know how that works, so we'll figure that out. And the other problem is the right side fuel tank does not pull fuel. So it only pulls fuel from the left side. It should pull from both sides, and there's an airlock or a clog or something. I'm not sure what. And so try to see if I can figure that out. I think I'm going to start with getting the battery removed. We'll put it on a charger. Make sure we're dealing with a good battery. I hate to do all this and then find out it's just a bad battery, and the charging system's actually working fine. That is a mess. Let's clean that up with a wire brush. Ugh. So April of 21, so it could be, that's 5 years old now, so could just be the battery's bad. I mean, it stays running, so it's definitely generating electricity. Well, let's try. So let's put this back over here. I'll hook the jumper up. We'll see if we can get this thing fired off, and then we will test, once it's running, test with a meter voltage at the wire. So if we have it running, this should be sitting at about 14 volts, right, for output. Here and here. Get up here, there you go, 12.6. I just had a bad contact on there. Okay, so 12 volts. So this should turn over. Check voltage again. That's 14. We got 14 volts coming back, which means it actually is putting voltage back into the battery and charging it. It just isn't holding the charge. So that's why when I run it all day long, it stays running after I jump it. So much like a car, right? A car battery just isn't taking the charge, so once you stop, it doesn't have enough juice. It's got enough juice to keep it running, not enough juice to start it. So I'll replace the battery. But that's one way you can troubleshoot the system, determine, is my charging system bad or is my battery bad? Okay, so since we're good on charge, let's focus on fuel. I'm not getting fuel from that tank over there, so I want to figure out why. So let's pull this battery back out, because since it's bad anyway and I'm going to have to replace it, there's no reason to leave it in there and accidentally start some fuel on fire. Let's take that out, put that off to the side, make a store run later. All right, so this is fuel line here. I think comes under there. So I'm going to start by, I'm going to disconnect fuel line from that side. This one pulls just fine. That comes up under here. And then this goes to the engine. So I know that at least from here, from that T this way is fine, because it's sucking fuel up through this. And I know this little shutoff valve is good. Fuel filter is good. So it's got to be something from here to there. It's pretty simple. My assumption is it's probably clogged at the tank inside that tube. So they're going to get that tube removed. And I wonder if I should try to, is there any fuel in there? It's got to be bad. This thing's never worked, so it's probably got 5-year-old fuel in it. Yep, smells like polyurethane. All right, let's get as much fuel out of there as we can before we make a mess in the garage. All right, nothing particularly special here, just this little transfer pump. These are pretty cheap. You can pick them up just about anywhere. We're just gonna drop that down in the tank and drop that down in a spare empty gas can so we can pull this fuel out and dispose of it. One problem with this is it wants to bend, because that's how you store it all coiled up, but then it's all coiled up. And that's kind of annoying. It's going to the bottom of the tank and then curling back up out of the fuel. I just need to put this inside something else, like a piece of pipe, to keep it straight. Well, that's a little excessive, but I think it'll work. I think that's about all this pump is going to get out of there. I pulled about half a gallon out. That's not bad. Better than spilling all over the floor. Trying to figure out, it would be better just to take the tank off. How does it even attach? How does that one attach? Bolts underneath. Right here. Yep, on the back. So that before I launch it off the thing. Well, we'll never see that again. That's fun. That worked. Yeah, okay. And there should be one back here somewhere. Looks like right there. Oh, that's a lock nut, and that's going to take a million years. It's also spring loaded. Why is it spring loaded? It was like an anti-vibration spring or something. So that was a lock nut, like a nylon lock nut with this spring on there. Maybe some sort of dampener. Does this come off now? Let's close that up. I missed one somewhere. It's still connected somehow. Oh, yeah, there's another one under the middle. Okay, there's another one. It's on this side, right underneath here. But it's on this side of the frame. Right inside the wheel. Probably be easier if I took the wheel off. Put this up on blocks or something. Ugh. Now, this should come off. Should. Not, but it should. Oh, there's another one right there. There's a fourth one. Right. Now will you come off? Yes, you will. The vent here, that should just pop out. So, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. There was one goes up into the tank from here, from below. That was a bolt. That's down there somewhere. And then 3 nuts, one here, here, and here, all with springs on them. And that holds this tank down. So there's looks like a check valve here. That could be bad. So I'm gonna pull this clamp and see if I can do that without spilling fuel everywhere. There's still quite a bit of fuel left in there. Way more than I thought there was. I did not get it all out. Junk in there. Okay, let's drain the rest of this fuel into that tank. Hopefully, without spilling too much. Look at this. I think that's a check valve, and that could be clogged. There's another zip tie. Let's clip that one. Part of me thinks, like, what's the point of troubleshooting this? I know this works. I know this works. Just replace this and be done. Right? Let's pull this clamp off down here. Oh. See, that was dumb. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling fuel from the other tank. So I need to cap that off somehow and do it fairly quickly. Here, let's put that back on for a second. As long as that stays above, it won't siphon out. Let's use a vacuum cap. That's fine. It's got a lot of crap in it though. I think this is bad. There. Now, I think this is just a one-way valve. And it does not want to go. Yeah. Pretty sure that is restricted. So we'll either eliminate that or replace it. Finally got the right ones. I ordered the right ones. They sent me the wrong ones. They were too small. So I finally got the right thickness. So usually there's an arrow on these that'll tell you what direction the flow is. And I think there is right here, but it's really hard to see. You gotta like glare the light on it. But they're tapered most of the time. And so they're tapered almost like make the arrow. So if you see how that one's tapered this way. So almost, that's kind of how I think about it. I don't know if that's by design, actually, but that's how I think about it. So that goes to the tank. That's right. I don't remember how I took this all apart. Well, there's that bolt I was looking for. Hey, what do you know? There. Okay. I'll connect that later, last, because that's going to start pouring fuel out as soon as I pull that cap off. So then I can pull it off and put the hose right back on. So this I'm going to kind of just lay in here for now. I know it went behind this thing. Up to here. I don't know where, I don't remember where it went from this side. I think it just snaked up behind this thing. And then went under here to the tank. Right there. So I get the tank back on. Okay, so hole there. There. Right there. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that side was cut. So let's turn that off. Yes. There it goes. I'm stubborn. Let's rotate that around a little bit so it's not in the way of the other clamp. Oh, it doesn't even have a clamp on it. That's interesting. I probably should put new lock nuts on here, because these lock nuts are generally one-time use. But I don't have any this size, so for now I'm just going to put them on, and I will worry about that part later. Hopefully they don't walk themselves back off before I have a chance to resolve that. There we go. All right. That's locked down. Oh yeah, I forgot the springs are supposed to go in there. Just realized that. That's why I had to thread those in farther than I had to before. Like, man, that socket's too short. I don't remember needing a deep wall socket. Okay, well, extra parts. I'm not putting them back in. Oh, I do remember to put this before I forget. Put this vent tube back in. I'll take this grommet off. There. Now I should be able to get it in there. Just gonna mush it in. There. And now push this into the grommet. There. Mercy. That's what I wanted to do. I've got battery, finally. And that's all hooked up. Everything's good. Now, in order to really test this, I think I want to transfer as much fuel as possible from this tank to that tank. Because there's enough fuel in this tank, it'll run. I don't know for sure if it's going to pull from there. All right, I wish I had a mechanical pump. The manual one is kind of annoying. Best I can, I'm going to transfer all the fuel over here. And then we'll go run it and see what happens. You guys don't care about that, so I'll bring it back when I get the fuel transferred. All right, transferred as much gas as I think I can. Let's get our battery hooked back up. All right, get all of our crap out of here. Well, shoot. This should have been under there. He's going to pinch that off. There we go. Run that back down. All right, let's get the garage open and get this outside. We're gonna let it run for a little while. We don't want to fumigate the garage here, so we'll run it out in the driveway. Let's see how it works. Well, I figured if I'm gonna waste the fuel, might as well mow the yard. So I just went out and mowed the whole yard. And I ran this tank completely dry, and that tank has fuel still in it. So we're pulling fuel from that tank, so we're good to go. So if you've got a problem with one of these dual tank mowers or any other piece of equipment and you're not pulling fuel from one side or the other, maybe it's a check valve. That's what it was in my case. Obviously, it could have been a leaky fuel line. It could have been some debris in the tank that clogged up the line. Any of those things could have been true. In fact, I think that's probably what happened. There was some kind of debris in the tank from age. It was set outside for a really long time. It was not a well taken care of mower, and that debris eventually worked its way and clogged the check valve. But regardless, it works now. We got a good battery, so we're good to go. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you. See you next time.